such an honour to be back here for a very fruitful event, fruitful fixture that we should have ahead of us here against Morecambe as well. You know, obviously another team that have nearly undergone a very similar fate as to what we went through back in 2019, and I think today, regardless of the result, you know, we should be very happy that we've been able to spend another day to be able to witness this fixture once again, as it has been many years since we last faced today's outlet as well.
Yeah, of course, pre-season game, so the result doesn't really matter, but all we're hoping for is a good performance here. Of course, Morecambe step above Bury. Of course, they were in the National League. Morecambe were in the Football League, just like ourselves. Of course, relegated in 22nd last season. Only 9 wins, 11 draws and 26 losses. Not great defensively last season as well. 103 conceded, and they find themselves now in the National League North, only 1 division away from Bury. So maybe one day we'll be back playing them. Well, that is, of course, not the dream to get back playing Morecambe, but the dream is ultimately to get back to the Football League, and these Shakers really are on the way to doing that. Back-to-back promotions. Can we get back-to-back-to-back? Good interception there from him, and Bury will attack in numbers on the right hand side. Here's Dudley. Will he go for the shot? Dudley, he will. It's blocked. Only a few peels for handball, nothing in it for me whatsoever. Graham does well to keep it in play. Back to Dudley. Cross goes in for Bury, and good goalkeeping by Miles Boney in the end. But I was just saying, chances will come for Bury, and there's a couple of moments. Quickly turning defence into attack, Morecambe. But good pressing again by Bury to shove them away, but the ball was through, but on goal, and the ball does go in the back of the net, but the offside flag pretty quickly raised on the number 2, Cameron Cox. But you can see the little link up on this right press will give chase, and the goalkeeper's got to deal with it. Does cleared all the way forward, and Newby is the target. And here's a chance now. Here's Collis on the right side, drills it into the box. Lovely little bit of touch, should I say. And what a goal that is. A fantastic finish by Teddy Collis, and that's his second. But the little touch around the defender there certainly has to be praised. A really good goal there, a really good individual goal from his point of view, but a good attack from Morecambe. And yeah, Bury are finding it slightly tough out here. Morecambe have been quite happy just to play around the ball around their back line, as the goalkeeper hasn't really been tested too much. I think it's worth mentioning that Bury aren't playing badly. Morecambe have just been showing their quality at the moment. Good ball that fell into the back post, though, that Mel Harder was quick to pounce on. But just as I was saying, Bury fans will just want Bury to have a go, and that's what they did there. Good little ball into the box, whipped in by, I believe it was Connor Pye, and back to goal, and all the way back to his goalkeeper in net. And there does go the referee's whistle to end the first half, the first 45 minutes, plus the 2 that were added on at the end. And a sensational solo performance from Teddy Collis is the difference between these two sides. 2 goals for him, and Bury just finding it a little bit difficult out there in this pre-season game. Morecambe 1 division ahead, 2 goals ahead in this game, and the Shakers are finding it slightly tough out there to sort of gain possession and gain shots on goal.
Few calculations, and thankfully I've got a second voice here with me telling me that Anthony Dudley is the man who has been replaced, and the second half is under the way. Berry kicking now from left to right as they look to try and get themselves back into this game here. Just confirmation that Anthony Dudley is the man who went off at half-time for DJ Pedro. In the end, he departs after making just the one appearance for the Shakers. Long-range effort from Louis White, and a few disgruntled voices, and aside to the right of me as well as from about 30 yards out, and no one within about 10 yards of him. Louis White has an effort, but gets it nowhere near correct.
Trying to think of a national league. Well, Ratcliffe, for example, he'll be playing Ratcliffe away pretty soon.
Teddy Collis making a break down the right channel, plays it back onto the edge of the box. It's a good save. Just a little bit of hesitation from myself there as the shot on the edge of the box from Paul Lewis gets parried straight into the middle of danger to Joe Garner, it was actually, but first of all, Garner offside.
Certainly ran off quickly though when the celebration started.
Ball played in now, the in-swinger from White, headed away by the visitors. Torre plays it back into Pedro, but the angle closed down for him to take his shot, so we had to play it back to White. Good 1-2 there, Louis White. Unbelievable curling effort there, matched by an unbelievable save from Miles Boney. That one looked like it was going to ring around the side netting. Really smart play there from the Shakers as they look to try and get themselves back into this, but unfortunately not to be able to do so. Really good save there by Boney. To be looking quite comfortable in there. Malado on the other side of the pitch, however. Back to Neild, 1-2 with White. Now Neild and Torre playing a 1-2. Neild with the first range time effort. And the long range effort, as I get my words mixed up there, cannons off the outside of the post. That could have been an early contender for goal of the season here. As the 1-2 with Mo Torre sees the ball sit on James Neild's weaker left foot. And he opens his body up perfectly, looks to just guide it into the top left. Room to try and play it forwards, but it's good play once again there between White and Graham. Graham with a long range effort now. But he's just seen James Neild nearly score the goal of his lifetime. And he's tried to have a go in himself there, but unfortunately for Leo Graham, it just sails over the bar. He's always rising and was never going to go in from that far.
I think Berry players have had a bit more space and a bit more time to get shots off in the second half. But yeah, as you said, it was never really going to test the keeper.
Well, we can't forget Leo Graham did score a screamer here last year as the referee blows his whistle for full time here. Berry 0, Morecambe 2, Berry succumbing and falling to defeat for the first time in this pre-season. That unbeaten record here of 8 unbeaten comes to an end.